Hi guys, how are we all doing? So the last time we did this to Jin, we focused more on his sort of samurai side and looked at him through the lens of this is a samurai character, but half of his character is the ghost, and the ghost is essentially a shinobi, a ninja, right? Or, well, shinobi we're going to say for the rest of the video. So, we are now going to do a video focusing more on that aspect of his character. So, the kanji for shinobi can be taken to mean someone who endures hardships, and separated to mean there is an edge on one's heart, relating to an abandonment of one's personal emotions. Shinobi no mono can mean person of stealth, person of endurance, person of perseverance, or person of patience. Throughout the story, you can definitely group Jin under any or all of those, really. Stealth as the ghost, there are several examples of this man covertly taking out his opponents. I mean, there's even a point in the game in which you can get Mongol commander armor, and whilst it doesn't exactly make you invisible to the Mongols, it does slow the speed at which they actually detect you before, you're discovered and everyone starts attacking you, right? And this, of course, does have historical basis because there were samurai or people that would wear samurai armor that would be planted in enemy spaces that would allow them to then gain the trust of their enemies and close enough to significant higher-ups to execute them, just like you could do in the game. Jin also makes good use of fear tactics to scare the Mongols and Japanese defectors, even though that side does technically have the numeric advantage and, well, the seemingly obvious advantage. He also has a range of makeshift tools like the black powder bomb and the sticky bomb, which shinobi of our time would have implemented similar tools to use against their opponents, such as samurai or other individuals that they're put up against that may potentially have certain other advantages against them that the shinobi might not be afforded, like, say, samurai armor, training, and all of that stuff. The game, of course, does play up this idea that Jin as the ghost is a completely dishonorable individual, but realistically, or at least historically, this would never be the case, purely for the fact that, as I mentioned before, there are, of course, samurai who went in disguise to get closer to their targets to assassinate people, as far as the game's concerned, dishonorably. And there are several other examples of this sort of thing happening throughout history as well. You have groups like the Supper, usually referring to Takeda Shingen's network of spies comprised of multiple social classes. So we're talking samurai, other sorts of bushi of varying degrees and classes, all the way down to merchants and farmers. The School of Supper was composed of 200 elites, and the group focused on espionage, strategy, and counter-espionage. They gained a pretty scary reputation in their day, known for arson, surprise raids, and making spies betray their lords. There's also more specific figures like Kirigakure Saizo, and that was an alleged alias used by Kirigakure Shikemon, who attempted to assassinate Toyotomi Hideyoshi by thrusting a spear through the floor. He failed, and his life was spared as he thwarted another assassination attempt on Hideyoshi's life by Yusuke Takiguchi, who was a double agent. Now Saizo also had to swear loyalty to the Toyotomi clan, and there's also a much more famous example, Hattori Hanzo, who himself started out as a samurai, as a military commander, who gained some renown on the battlefield, earned himself the name Oni no Hanzo, or Hanzo the Demon. But the early part of his life was very much dedicated to, or at least during the early parts of his life, he was very much a samurai, and eventually he comes under the service of Tokugawa Ieyasu. And thanks to the fact that we don't know too much about Hanzo's early life, there are some legends that try to explain, some of his renown and feats and what's so significant about Hanzo, like his attack on Kaminago Castle, where he successfully retrieves Tokugawa's daughters who were captured by rival clans. Hanzo being just 16 at this point, and Tokugawa praising him for his bravery. But his most significant famous act was after the death of Oda Nobunaga, Ieyasu became a massive target, being one of his former retainers. Not only was he far from home, but in a land riddled with enemies. Luckily, they crossed into the Iga province, an area Hanzo had earned some ties with local ninja clans, aiding in Iyasu's escort. So as you can tell, samurai and shinobi aren't necessarily, as far as history is concerned, separate entities that clashed against each other solely, but could even be one and the same and typically work together. So in that way, you can say that Jin is a fantastically romanticized version of the combination between a samurai and a shinobi, because he's definitely one who is enduring and persevering, as this is a man that's losing his status. He's giving up a lot of, or some of the things that he's been led to believe his entire life through his samurai upbringing, but he's doing it for the people. He's doing it for a cause greater than himself, and he's overcoming odds which realistically are unbeatable. So yeah, deserves a bit of commendation for that. But yeah, I think I'm pretty finished talking about Jin Sakai, now that I've covered both aspects of, what he's being presented as in the game. But yeah, what do you think? Do you enjoy Jin's character? Do you feel like there are aspects that you don't like or you think that could have been done better? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave it a like. It does help me out, keeps the algorithm happy. We're all good. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. But till the next one, have yourselves a fantastic day. I've been Prime, and I'll see you in a few. Bye-bye.